folks, Reverend Crystal Cox here, Universal Church of Light. My email is reverendcrystalcox@gmail.com if you would like to, say hello. All right, so if you have to force something, it's not for you. Okay, just walk away. Walking along. Oh, the door's shut. What kind of analogy was that, Crystal? You just open the door. Yeah, you could, but, well, okay, it's locked. Maybe that's what I meant. All right. If you have to force a relationship, if you have to force people to be in your life, you have to constantly contact people, okay? If you have to force even certain jobs, okay, certain information, if you have to force anything, then that's not really the path of least resistance, and that's not creating a preferred reality based on your authentic individual belief system, okay? That is forcing your belief on someone else, and I don't mean just like wanting that from a person, but even all the energies outside of you, because if you just allow things that you don't need to force, that creates a constant flow of new things. If something comes into your life and you don't prefer it, you just kind of let it go. You don't chase it down and force it to be different so that you're okay. Okay, I need you to be a certain way so that I'm okay. All right, so we don't do that. Okay, so one of the challenges that I've had in life is to just let myself just be. Okay, just be. I'm always pushing myself. I have to accomplish something, right? I have to create something. I have to write something. I have to do something, and not just allow myself to just be. Okay, there's no one truth, right? There's no, if I do this, I'm a success. Well, who defines what success is? Okay, to me, success is being able to be peaceful and content. Okay? And abundant in a way that, with conjuring, with magical creations based on your focus in quantum physics, and not on forcing something. And the something also included in that is yourself. Don't force yourself to take a job you don't want, okay? Change your frequency and let abundance come to you in ways that you do prefer. Okay? All right, so yes, learning how to just be. Okay, we have to force it. Okay, let's see here. It's funny, you'd think that you know what you believe, right? So it's like if I say, hey, why don't you let yourself in on that little secret of what it is you really believe? You'd be like, I already know what I believe. Well, do you? Right? It's funny how when I get a negative emotion and I ask myself, what must I believe to be feeling this way? I'm like, I don't know. Sometimes I can't come up with it. So then I go, okay, well, what am I afraid of then? Okay, it's kind of hard sometimes. So you can put it into the perspective of, okay, well, what must someone outside yourself, what do they believe in order to be acting like that? Like if you feel bad about not having any money, for example, and you're really down on yourself and you're a loser and you made all the wrong choices and life sucks and all this, then you go, okay, so then I believe that any person that doesn't have money is a loser, their life sucks, they made wrong decisions, I believe all these horrible things about all these people. And then you go, well, no, I don't believe that for them, I just believe it for myself. So you're beating yourself up because of programs, and you've kind of created that as a habit, but it's not actually your belief system. So you got your authority system, your parental voice in your head that believes you need to be a better version of you, and you need to do this, and you need to do that. Okay, that's what it is, because it's not actually your belief that having no money makes you a loser. And that's just one example, okay? So if you feel bad or low about anything at all, and you go, well, if I believe that, and you sometimes can't do it with yourself, but with someone else you can, then I believe that for other people too. So if I believe it for myself, I believe it for everybody, then that makes it your belief system. Okay? And then when you identify that, you're taking the beliefs that are unconscious, back here in the unconscious, and you're bringing them to the conscious, and you're creating reality consciously by identifying your belief. You don't need to take any other action. It just dissolves, okay? because you've identified to yourself what you really believe. So instead of just in your DNA, instead of unconsciously creating reality, just kind of lobbing along on your parents' belief, okay, belief of your ancestors, belief of religion or society, you're creating reality on what you think their belief is that you should do and trying to be that. And you're not creating reality conscious on your own beliefs, and you don't really know what your own beliefs are because you don't say, well, what is it that I believe? So the perfect time when you feel a negative emotion is to identify those beliefs. That's the perfect time to work on being the preferred version of you. Okay, because you go, oh, what would the preferred version of me be doing right now? Okay, and you fake it till you make it, and you change the frequency, and this draws a different version of reality to you. Okay, and then yes, it creates momentum, following excitement from one step to the next step. It creates momentum. Okay, it's like a snowball, right? More and more and more and more, builds on it, builds on it, builds on it. The more you can stay in the preferred version of you, the more you follow your highest excitement, because that's how your guides communicate with you. That's how you know your life purpose and what you chose to experience here on Mother Earth, by your excitement. What things interest you? What things excite you? And you follow that. If you go, no, I shouldn't. I'm supposed to go over here. I'm supposed to do this job. I'm supposed to please this person. Then you're not following your highest excitement. That's valid too. But you're probably not happy or at peace, and you're not feeling like you're thriving and heading towards creating something that you really enjoy. You're just on survival, right? Okay, so what else we got here? Predictions. I think we talked about that earlier, but in predictions, when you're sensing, like if I give you a reading or predict something, that's based on mass consciousness at this moment and your energy at this moment. Okay, you could go outside and completely change your mind, change your energy. You could have an epiphany and be like, oh, I no longer believe that, or I'm not self-conscious about this anymore, or I'm not, and it's funny, sometimes people are like, well, I'm working on not being self-conscious, and I'm working on this, and I'm working on that belief or concept about themselves, and you say to them, well, you could just know it and shift in a minute. If you can get that inner dialogue going where you've identified your belief and you convinced yourself, you can shift in an instant. You don't have to take 7 years. Okay, you don't have to take 10 years. You don't have to take a lifetime. But having this inner dialogue to find out what you believe and having the courage to follow that path of what it is that you believe. That's how you create the preferred reality. Okay, and you get rid of anybody in your life that's not a part of that preferred reality. Okay, you're a grown-up. You're in charge. Have the courage to say no. And have the courage to tell people you do not prefer to have them in your life, okay? Because that friction with that person, that out of alignment, creates that constant energy, and that affects every single thing that's drawn to your life. Okay? Okay. Mass consciousness. You agreed on certain experiences before you came here, so you can't necessarily... You can only change things to a certain level. And no, we don't necessarily remember what we agreed on. But, like if I truly believe that, I might have said this earlier, but if I truly believe that I can fly, then mass consciousness is not of a belief of that we're there yet. Okay? I fly in my dreams, right? And so that's actually another version of parallel realities. But we agreed to experience certain things here on Mother Earth. And so part of mass consciousness has to hit a certain level of agreement to move to the next level. So we have sovereignty in our own individual truth, but we can only go so far in this, I like to call this game board, right? Or this matrix, or this level of the video game, right? Anyway, just a little bit on that. Just don't force yourself to be any version of you that's not comfortable. Okay, maybe you'll be comfortable with that version of you later, but afford yourself the truth and let yourself live that truth, and don't let anybody parent you. Not a lover, not a parent. Don't let your kids bully you. Don't let your boss, your church, your society, your news, don't let anybody bully you. Be your truth, even if you be it alone, okay? Don't force anyone to your truth. Don't force yourself to live other people's version of your truth, okay? Just live your truth. All right. I love you. Talk to you when we do.